There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talk about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end of purpose from them. So welcome my life with African.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make you again Sktv-Lib. Say my journey, Tina get I say my yamo. And yes, I know money, the more I know. And you love our money, the more I know.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I don't get it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life with African. From Grandfather, Nima to Lufa. From River Sass, River G to Chide. From Penku, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, Sando to Bakulu. From Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, people. What a way to go, folks. Good evening to all of you, our channel listeners, our followers, our viewers, and other those of you who are always supporting us. You know, you support us with all of your energy, with all of your little resources. You support us in every other thing we do here. We are grateful to you. Yes, indeed. We are grateful to all of you, those of you who also, against us, even though you follow all of our activities. Sometimes you take some things from here. Some of you also take news. You make some of the news headline with some of the things some of our guests will bring here. Yes, that's the beauty of life. Life. That's why when you hear some of the little saying that no man is an island. It means that we all will live or we are laying on one another, and that's the beauty of life. That's why no one forest, or in fact, no one tree rather, can make a forest. So you have to respect every individual in your life, no matter what kind of thing they are doing, whether that person is fetching water, whether that person is there to sweep the yard, or maybe they are there to just do one of two things for you. Respect them. Respect them. The reason people are calling you bosses, boss lady, boss man is just because God gave you the little opportunity for you to have little resources so that you can also be a help to other people. It doesn't mean who will get money and be calling people boss men and bosses. No. Even these people today who have these positions, the power, when they go to the business people or to the, I don't want to be too that kind of way, but when they go to the Lebanese people or the Indians, your leaders, they beg, they call them bosses, they call them chiefs because they want to beg for money. So you see how the whole life look. So when you have money, people respect you and they do everything. They worship me. In fact, sometimes there are other people who also, in fact, they take all of their respect that belong to them and give it to you. Like for example, maybe you older than them, you know, and they start to call you our ma, and you know, in our phone, our pa, oh my uncle, oh my big brother. You know, all these things, they do these things just because they want to survive. But again, people, go evening, let's share the show. Today is Tuesday. Best say Tuesday indeed. This day is indeed great because so many things trending back on here today. So many things trending in Liberia, you know, reaching from the armed forces of Liberia, reclaiming their land. I don't know how many years that land have been taken away from them. Yes, I don't know how many years. I feel send the word because, yeah, I think I send the word. So that means we can safely say, since 1990. Since 1990, the armed forces of Liberia reclaimed the most talked about 72nd barrack. That was one of the news that also that we witnessed this morning, and that also went up to. Well, share the show now. What we'll do this morning? Help us share the show. Myself, I'm sharing the show. Also giving you some of the updates back home. Yes, help us, people. Help us share the show. James David, my good friend and brother. What's up, Chairman? I have a friend. Happy New Year. Those of you that are in the US, let me say hello to all of you. And I hope that you people don't get angry. These things happen because of bad leadership. That's why most of us will travel. That's why today we are being insulted. That's why today we have been looked down on because of bad leadership. So we got to go out there to fight for better lives. Because somebody will work here for 12 years. Your 6 months on our side is far better, 100% than the person who's been working for 12 years. So people go to these places just because of better lives. Because, you know, but so it's not easy in the US. I know what some of you are going through. Sometimes you have to have all of your documents on you. Every place you go or everywhere you go, you have to display the documents all of the time. So I understand. But again, people help us share the show. Today the show will be interesting, more than hot, because we have so many things here today to talk about. So that we started with the armed forces of Liberia. Yes, they finally reclaimed their property, and that property belonged to the armed forces of Liberia. That is the 72nd belt. Indeed, those of you who are residing at that end, you should get in mind that that property, even though other people were selling, oh God, the country interesting. Land are not for you. You sell land to other people, people buy it and build duplex. Yes. Yeah, they build duplex. You know, sometimes I can be blaming government. Some of you, hey, everything you're saying government. Every day you're blaming government. Yes, the government too was sleeping. You know, the government said that and allow people who don't even have access to the lands to sell the land to other people, dupe other people, allow other people to build schools, other people to build mansions, you know. And at the end of the day, only for government to come out and say, we'll come for our property. So what's going to happen to people that are already maybe feeling investing? What's going to happen to them? I mean, I'm happy that at least the other AFL, they take their land back. Let me be frank, I'm happy for that because they have to develop their land. The land for them. The land belongs to them. So that one. And one of the things that today is that we don't even experience the kind of tensions that we always see anytime when there is, you know, land issues. Sometimes we see the kind of tensions between the police and that the citizens. So I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing though that at least our citizens they don't want to be fighting on and they are or are they afraid of the so the country is interesting, man. Why are you people are running today? You see, but actually it's good. Myself, I mean sympathy with all of you citizens because that land or that place, I think, if I stand to be corrected, maybe about almost 2,000 maybe inhabitants, or maybe less than that. Yes, indeed. So the armed forces of Liberia, you too, you got to think and be able. The way you finish barricading the place is good. The best thing is all those people who have their alleged properties, who may have invested, I think that government gave them something. Yeah, now all I want to part you with that one. Yeah, please, beg you. That government gave them something. It's not easy to work for your high-end money. You put it somewhere, you know, and you know, it just go like that. Nobody want. Sometimes these things kill people because of pressure, because of frustration. How you going to recover? So sometimes people die from frustration. So my call to the armed forces of Liberia and that of the Ministry of Defense and that of the government of Liberia, at least, be able to give these people something. At least if a little compensation, it will be good for them. That's what the money is there for. When you hear about the welfare issue, all these things, these are systems that the poor put together so the money can come back. The money is there. So you can't carry money to places and the money there for people to use it, to eat it. So that's it there. And another news, please help also, we're sharing the show also. Yes. And another news is the fire disaster. Yes, the fire disaster that happened in Red Light. Indeed, that was very, very troubling. You know, having your business or seeing your business burning, yeah, down to ashes, you know, it's troubling. It's something that I think these things should have been, should we say, maybe put under control even before happening. Sometimes, you know, when we talk about education, you know, educating people about things or awareness, people take these things for a joke, especially the Ministry of Information. All the Ministry of Information are into is combative politics, how to confuse Liberians, how to put Liberians against each other. Nothing else these people doing on that. That's all they are into, to just put Liberians against one another. Every day they go to that Ministry of Information, they will talk things that will make other politicians or maybe other people who are also supporting the other political party to be angry. No. And we said that we're policing America, maybe American system or so forth. After elections, you don't even hear about Republican and Democrat. No. Even as we speak, there are a lot of Americans who also work in the government. They can do their do. They talk their talk. They say whatsoever thing they want to say now. But at the end of the day, the law is there to do whatsoever thing the law want to do. And that's the beauty of life. But we feel that we want to put a democracy, but every day, this money country that we're all trying to build, we are insulting, we are, I don't know, hateful, and actually may even call. Then another one again, another news have to do with, yeah, I will bring about it. The last one part is about that. Go back. Yeah. It's a white again, the man. And then we will talk about all you want, but I move on with the other news. The other news have to do with the okay, yes, the Clyde Mary Weir Foundation. Yes. So where is the stuff? Yes, indeed. Thank God. Yes, we have our call. Yes. So is that criminal code A? Yes. Okay. Good. So it's a criminal code A has issued a writ of subpoena, you know, ordering the Clyde Hope Foundation to produce or make available all documents, including financial records relating to the construction of a multi-purpose complex built and owned by former First Lady Clyde Mary Weir in Marshall Mangibby County. Yes. So that's another news that will also wake up to on this day, because you know we're already climaxing the day now yet. So that's another one. Those of you who are joining us, I guess that you having this thing play by play, you know. So that's another news that will also wake up to that the criminal code A has subpoenaed all of the documents from the Clyde Mary Weir Foundation. That yeah, you come, you show proof, you show all of the documents, how you managed to get money to build all of these duplex, or actually may call everything. Well, I know you have your say, whether it's good, whether it's wrong, but in the same criminal code A, I think the Asson case, that's very interesting. The actually Asson case stay there and stay ongoing. Yeah, so that how many now I will talk about? We talk about the armed forces of Liberia. We talk about the fire burning in Red Light. Then we talk about the former First Lady, yes, of foundation also. Then we'll go straight to some kind of news also that the GSC, right? Yes, it is the GSC. The GSC, yes, some kind of thing going on, or the LACC. Yeah, I think it is the LACC. We also saw that news that the LACC also, there are a lot of current government officials that have been stopped from traveling or from going anywhere, that indeed the court also, they are on serious investigations to the court or the LACC also. So yes, that's good. That's other good news at least. But I don't know whether that's the best way that we're building our system, or maybe we still have another way to go in building our system, in making sure that we have everything that we think that we want for better Liberia. So that's another news. Then yes, while we were there also, or in fact while we were yeah. So sorry to, sometimes we have to make these things weird. So that move. So while we were observing other things happening today, also we've been waiting for the House of Representatives, headed by Honorable Richard Nabekun, the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia, to have their third session. Yes, I think that the third session of the 55th National Legislature. Yes, indeed, to have their session on today. Unfortunately, up to date, in fact, up to press time, yes, indeed, up to press time, we are yet to see the House of Representatives having their session due to lack of quorum. That is the news that we are getting, that due to lack of quorum, the House of Representatives, they were not able to have their, how do you call it? And so because of that, they are not able, or they are still into meeting, even though according to news, they are having meetings. The House Speaker also called them for meeting. Maybe we don't know yet as to, maybe they may likely have their session, because mind you, though, so they can have session in the night. Yeah, so don't get it twisted. But from all indications today, the lower house, unfortunately for them, they were not able to have session due to lack of quorum. That's what we're hearing from the House of Representatives. We don't know what's going to happen next. If this continue up to Friday, that means, because mind you, they come in Monday, the president will be speaking. And so we don't know yet as to how they know what's going to happen. If they know continue like this, then that means the president maybe annual message that I've been saying, or that the lawmakers they've been saying, that means they may likely boycott, or maybe we don't know yet. And so, folks, yes, indeed, that's another news. So also while we were following through with that, we also got this sad news also about our former vice president of the Republic of Liberia. Yes, indeed, Madam Joy Howard Taylor, yes, losing her son to the cold hands of death. And that's so sad for our country. So indeed, people are mourning now. By this time, people have their messages going to her, sending in their condolence messages to the family and that are our former vice president, Madam Joy Howard Taylor. So yes, if you are following us, these are things that have been trending, and these are things that have been happening here in Liberia as of today, Tuesday, the 20th. By matter of fact, today is the 20th of January, the first month in the year 2026. So that move on now with our discussion, Brother Aliu. We'll soon join. Okay, Mark, already yes or no need. Yes, Mark, my dear brother, good evening, and what's up, everything?
Man, I'm doing great. I guess came back. I saw you alone. And sure Ali were here. If Ali was going to be, I was going to take the day off.
Yeah,
Ali is not here yet.
I will join you guys later. Yeah,
I'm doing great. It's good to be alive. Another day. Today is the 20th. 11 more days, and we'll be in month number 2 for 2026. Today we got a bunch of Champions League going on as well. And we're just following activities. I mean, I've been seeing, I saw some, I mean, I didn't follow most of the news. I just been reading some headlines, but I have no idea on the details. I think Philip, the son of the president.
Yes.
I mean, my condolences to the family, to the bereaved family. It's so sad when you end up losing your son, especially for an older person. I mean, like, he's a young man. I don't think Philip should be like more than 30 or 35 because, yeah, he's young, pretty much young. Yeah, I saw about something about the speaker. They say he's looking for quorum too. I tell you guys, when you said bad president in politics, when you said bad president in politics, let me tell you something. Power can swing. They want an Englishman called oscillate. It go back and forth. Every right Caesar. So when someone is in power and they want to abuse their office or take advantage and think that they are too smart, let them be, because you are setting your precedent. It means anything that they can do, you can do it also. So the day you are in the position of power, you can pay them back in return. So they are just setting the stage for his removal. I know by the time we get to the President's State of the Nation address, after that event, that will be the new season for his removal, and it will be drama. Like I said, in Liberia, if I was the speaker, I would try as much as possible to get my ducks in a row every single day of the week. I make sure I get my majority whip. That will be making sure that all my members are in my caucus. Because the moment you end up falling below the constitutional threshold, that's why they say a quorum. The quorum is like, that's what legitimizes your speakership. And I said the same thing when the former embattled speaker was going through. I said, the most you can do, go out there and do anything possible to get 7 or 8 guys to come back within your caucus. Once you get that number, the other jokers, like, they can go to Australia, if you like, they can have meeting in space. Once you have that number, you are the legitimate speaker. In the absence of that number, don't waste your time, my brother. So I know the same thing is going to happen to the speaker. It's just a matter of time. The bad blood is already there between the majority and the minority black. So the same thing that happened to Fanatikofa, maybe his might be even worse than what the former speaker went through. So, but like I said, it's the beginning of breath pain for him. We know it will go wrong. And I saw something about the Port of Buchanan, how the president might likely sign a bill. I don't know whether it's just nothing but theatrics, because I know at the end of the day, they will put pressure on him to sign that bill because money involved. But the funny thing is, I don't know whether people are paying attention. They said 200 million. I said, but no, you guys told us that the Chinese were coming for 3 billion. So I don't know who's going to leave 3 billion to sell it for 200 million. So the report that I saw, the little news, I don't know how authentic it is. They say, oh, 200 million, it will create a lot of jobs. How they put up Buchanan raise 6 million and they added it to the government cover. Like, yeah, say that to the bread. Do I look like a fool to you? The major port in Liberia, they wasn't making remittances into the government consolidated account. You want me to believe that the port of Buchanan were making regular payment because they just want food a little bit out there so they can sell that port. That's just why it is. So they're talking about the earning potential, how you can bring about more jobs, how you can make sure the activities at the port is being more efficient. You know, that's just what they will say until another criminal can come and take over that critical asset, because airports, seaport, they are all critical assets. And in the airport and your seaport, we got maritime. Maritime is international. So in as much as they fall within our local jurisdiction, it's also an entity that is on the international scene as well, because there are tons of ships carrying the Liberian flag and generating revenues all over the world. So we look forward to that.
Let me ask you on that, Mark, since you already bringing in about the entire port issues, because there are other citizens too who are quote unquote closer to the port business that we're talking about, like for example, Grand Bassa, I think Grand Coup, and that of Maryland. So yeah, so they are also arguing that some of them say they don't have the kind of resources, like for example, Nimba, Nimba have all of the, maybe most of the resources. That's why you have a meter. So they want to make it look like, okay, let it be like maybe 80%. Or maybe 90% of all of the activity be done in the county. That will also help the county, maybe maybe to get yourself maybe on things. How you see it more? Because if you put a port, let me go. If you put all of the ports on the big port that's here, for me, I don't think this county will even benefit anything.
You mean from the new deal or the existing deal? Which one you support? You prefer them giving the port away, breaking the port's authority, the NPA, into a separate entity, or
yes,
autonomous port?
Yes.
Or you want
I'm really talking about that one. I want you first. That the first thing should be done. Let the ports be given to the county. Let the port be strictly on these counties, at least the counties, or maybe these counties themselves, will be able to benefit from their ports instead of the port making report to the national port that will have information. I don't really see the idea, and I think that's not good for me. I don't see
Well, it's complicated because when you have the National Port Authority that's serving as a regulatory body for all the ports in Liberia, they all contribute to the government consolidated account in terms of revenue generation. The problem is just how efficient they are. They got countries that have more ports than Liberia, but they still have a regulatory body. In the case of Liberia, if you say you want to fragment the port or you want to separate them, it's not a problem. Do it with good intent. The economic aspect of it, how it's going to benefit. But for our case, it's almost like certain individuals want to use the port to get rich. They want a retirement check. So they are not making this decision. We haven't seen any economic data that say, oh, when you segment the port or when you fragment the port and make them independent, whether they will bring about more jobs, whether they will bring about more economic activity to the country, whether people will benefit the most. In our case, it's almost like when you are a lawmaker from a county with a seaport, it means you can come up with ideas or impose on the Liberian government. No, you are not the one that control the port. It's almost like somebody from Lofa County believing that he can go and bring an investor out there because he's from Lofa County and he wants out the Wologisi Mountain because he's from Lofa. No, Wologisi Mountain is for Liberia, even though physically it says in Lofa County. So you cannot tell me that all the lawmakers from Lofa County have this kind of authority in telling us how to manage the state resources. No, because all the ports, they are state critical infrastructure under the entire government. So the Nyongli Kanga, the Dillon, I don't know who are James Barney or the one from Maryland, all you can know. Because the way how they are pushing this thing is almost like they know what will benefit in the end. The question is, when we get into this new deal, will the Liberian port benefit the most, or they will be the loser again as usual? Because, take for example, look at the free port of Monrovia, right? The gateway to the Liberian economy, right? That's where most of the activities happen. But can the average Liberian say, okay, we are doing better at the port, or we are in terms of prices or goods or economic activity? So I'm not sure, because people will do feasibility study like what I told you what happened in Ghana, right? Ghana have a centralized port system, but all their ports are effective. The government still manage them. You go to the port of Tema, the port of Accra, all over the country, you go to the Cape Coast, the central region, all their ports are effective. But yet, sometimes they will consider, leveraging those ports by giving it to other foreign investors. But the question is, when you give it to the investor, how will you benefit? We have seen tons of corporations or companies that came to Liberia in the name of creating jobs. And at the end of the day, the people that even live right there on the company's property, they are still in poverty.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
what's the point?
Buying it. They are not making a legitimate economic case as to why we should or abolish or defragment the National Port Authority system. All you hear, it will bring jobs, but that's a vague argument. I want to see evidence. We want to see proof. Matter of fact, how many years you are signing? What would be some of the investment that this investor would make that will transform the people of Grand Bassa, whether it will change their life? Because you sell it for 200 million, you need to always something for 25 years. 200 million sound a lot on paper, but over 25 years or 50 years, because you know that why they can always sign for, they never sign for 5 or 10 years. They always sign for 25, 50, 99 years. So
and that's the frustrating thing with our entire life, that you will be alive, but people will sign, I don't know what you may call, but they sign your retirement ahead of you, because it's like, in fact, you will go into retirement and you'll be seeing your own resources going, but you don't have no stream anymore, because the time you were young, people take all of their time and send it out there 25 years, 50 years. Which I think at least sometimes, let's start with 5 years, 10 years, and see how these things going to work. What are these people who are investing, whether they'll be serious, or whether we can even maybe make some changes as time go by. But for our people, because when they do 10 years, for example, maybe they're supposed to get 500,000. You know, that money too small. So then they get 50 years. Because if you calculate 500,000, maybe at a bonus fee or so forth, times the 50 years, they will get something good. And they will share it around. So these are kind of perception, these are kind of belief, these are kind of things that our leaders, they are always into. So because of that, my brother, sometimes anything that is good for our society will always turn into personal interest. It's today because of personal interest today. We're hearing Henry Costa and all of them, they are all.
Oh yeah, they insulting each other and they talking about fingering document. And yes, because they know that port deal will go through. Some people will walk away with millions of dollars. They will have stake in those deals. And that when they are no longer lawmakers, they will still be getting a residual income coming in. That's just why it's oil. But that's what I keep saying. It's not about the economic argument. It's not about how it will transform life. It's not about creating an economic zone or to create more jobs. It's all about the folks that are pushing. And the sad thing about it, when you're having this kind of a conversation, the people in the country that they don't even pay attention, like they don't care. It's almost like they are giving up on everything. Like, we don't have a country. We are just here. So these lawmakers, they understand one thing. They be like, okay, the Melbourne and the Spoon and all the other networks, you guys can talk all you want. At the end of the day, once the average person is not paying attention, who could care less about how many times you guys cry? That's just why it is not in Liberia. So they will get their will. Anything they want, they get, because there is no pushback from the general public. Nobody is complaining. You don't even hear from your political leaders, even the opposition one. They just accept this thing.
And more, you said something very, very important, because even Maryland County, where maybe one of the port is situated, or Grand Creek County, where one of the port is situated. I don't know.
That's Sano, Grand Basil, Morovia, and Montserrat, and Maryland. So I don't think Grand Creek got a port yet. Grand Creek not there.
Sorry. So Grand Basil County, where one of the port is situated more. I don't know whether there were any maybe meetings, maybe acquaintance meeting with the leadership, maybe with the young people, maybe with the old folks, maybe how things going to run. What kind of idea you people have maybe in mind for us to carry to the lower or maybe to the horse, so that we'll be able to put all the ideas together? I don't know. I don't know whether they can reach out to the people.
You know one thing I know, Mabel,
or they just take decisions.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you know the sad thing about our country. When you engage in these kind of deals, you will go out of the country and look for experts, people that know this thing. You will consult with the executive, the people from the maritime that have been running the thing for long. Like the last time we talked about this whole port issue, one of the major problems was, I think that complaint came from the I don't know what, the justice minister or somebody that raised the objection that you are not even involving getting the executive branch involved. I mean, the expert, the people that knows about maritime and port management. No, you're talking about lawmaker. Why normally can't I know about running a port? Why directors they don't know about port? Right? So in other countries, like I said, when it comes to the concession agreement, they'll go hire third-party entity, people that bring the business, whether it's an oil company or offshore drilling, all this stuff. They bring the best of the best. They tell you they do their own feasibility study, they do their assessment, they make recommendations to the government before the government can even go and send away investor. But in the case of Liberia, look at some man that can even tell you the difference between Pangana oil and red oil, but he want to sell oil below the sea. Then how will you benefit? That's how a Nigerian man came to Liberia and spent less than 200,000 and walk away with 200 million, because you are not an expert. You never drill oil in your entire life in Liberia. How can you be selling oil black for something you barely understand? The same with port management.
Because they are concerned that what I just stated not too long is what they can get more. Look, let me tell you, that's why when most of the people want to leave from positions, you don't see them getting, life getting better with them. I mean, hear about one senator being appointed, I don't know what kind of port manager.
Yeah, that made them TJ. He go back, from being a senator for all the years, he say he port manager. That nonsense. Yeah. That's all they are there for. That's why they will keep making endorsement. That's all. It's the only thing that they know in Liberia. You never
from senator to port manager.
Yeah, you go to
port manager. These are positions that continue to carry you through until you reach to that level of being senator. By the time you become senator or representative, that's retirement job. That means you may have already understand the livelihood of your people. So you're not going there to go joke. So that means, my people, you see, from senator, and they're plenty. They are most of them. Some of them are assistant minister. Some of them are deputy. Me, Mabel, I supposed to be lawmaker, for example, or representative for 6 years or 12 years. I can't go be assistant minister or deputy minister.
Yeah, that's what they are. That's the only way. It's the only hustle they know.
To do what? Well, again, that's a society.
That's the culture.
Most of our people, they're all hustlers.
Yes.
Let me tell you today. They're making confusion. They are making confusion right now because of or maybe one person protecting their interest and the other person too, maybe maybe the High Court was observing that.
Maybe I think you're frozen. Something is not right. Uh,
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Foreign people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise of them. The work with my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play body so make you I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And yes I know money, the more I get you. And you love the more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
And I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get na ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't get na. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Foreign people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Yes, indeed, SKTV, it is the best. Folks, we sincerely apologize for the break-in due to some technical glitches or technical issues here beyond our control here at the studio. So again, good evening to those of you who've been there with us, maybe, and we haven't recognized you. Again, those of you who also just joining us, also good evening to all of you, and thank you so much for always holding on there. Yes, we are getting the latest report that at long last, the House of Representatives, they are holding their regular session. I don't know what very important that they're going to pass tonight, that they are holding session by this time. But again, Mark, that's the latest information that we're getting, that the House of I don't know what they may, maybe, or maybe the speaker,
quorum now?
Yes, maybe the speaker, at long last, the speaker holding session midnight. I don't know what going on? What happened?
No, I don't care what time of the day they are meeting. I'm just saying, if they have a quorum, because the quorum is why we give them the legitimacy to even host to discuss any governmental matter or governmental activity. So if he doesn't have the number, like they can have it midnight. Most of our lawmakers, they sleep in their offices, they get their mattress on the floor with their aide. They sleep there because they're from different states. You can't be flying to Washington, D.C. all the time. So they want that can afford expensive living place, but most of them sleep in their offices so they can hold session even at night. 12 midnight when the American people sleeping, then they pass a bill. Before you wake up in the morning, already gone. I read that history. So once there is quorum, then I know he's doing a legitimate work. But without a quorum, then anything he's doing is illegal. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's good, Mark. So we were talking about the report before going for the break, but anyway, we already maybe done with that. Now I'm moving with the other 20 national issues. I know that maybe you follow some of the happening, especially coming from the Clara, is that a Clara Hope Foundation? Yes, indeed, a Clara Hope Foundation, that the Criminal Code A, the Criminal Code A has issued a writ of subpoena, ordering the Clara Hope Foundation to produce or make available all documents including financial records relating to construction of a multi-purpose complex. What say you, Mark?
Well, I think that's now a new story. We touched on that topic before, and we said what we had to say on the issue. You know, they got so many things going on, like, but you can't even keep track of them. You can't understand the consistency with the case from the asset recovery, from the Finabono issue. It's just one thing or another. It's almost like we are just, it's just like some kind of a play, you know, like a character in a movie, and you just bringing up different scenes, and the people that are watching the movie cannot get the actual understanding of the movie, even though they are watching the movie, but they are still struggling behind the screen to understand what the writer try to portray or what you intend to say to the audience, because I can't get it. You know, I'm yet to understand. The Finabono issue, the gracious ride, another day here, the cloud we are, they won't receive and all that. Like, I really want to know what is the end product, what they really trying to achieve. Whether it's about corruption issue, whether it's a political theater just to go after the former president and his wife, whether there's something that they intend to do, because the asset recovery, like we said in the beginning of the administration, is a very tough and long process, but I cannot make sense of it.
Yes, so Mark, these are some of the reactions coming from the host, and I think they say, according to report, no light, you know, usually we can say yes for power, that there's no power there, and the place is dark. I think you are watching. That's happening there, and live from where the 1.5, sorry, the 1.2 billion dollar budget.
What you expect to tell like to make like real better, you gotta be joking, right?
What?
People that cannot even pay their own staff on time. You want me to believe that they didn't want to turn that country around by making things to happen in Liberia? You that's wishful thinking. What happened to the stability and legacy that was supposed to be celebrating? Why you guess what's happening?
That question.
Yeah.
What?
178 years. They're sweating, get a pigs. See them wiping their face.
And Mark, I don't really get some of the work the guy can really be doing, or maybe our lawmakers can really be doing. Because Mark, every time you see them, is like they just dress well, dress neat. I don't know whether they're just showcasing the dress code or it's just about them doing the laboratory work. You see that? See somebody there.
Maybe if I were to ask you, in terms of a legislation, let's go back 10 years ago. I want you to name in one bill that passed in Liberia where you can say, you know what, it was because of this bill we can see some kind of improvement in this country. On anything, I want you to name in one, if you can remember.
Well, I think it's just a free money that we just paying all of these people for me. I can't even remember anything good because they think them up. They will be arguing that they have oversight responsibility. But what are the bills that they are passing? What are the laws that they are passing? What are the laws reaching out to the people? They don't care.
No.
But they will be talking that they have oversight. So where is the oversight? You have oversight responsibility, and you pass a bill, for example, or maybe you pass a law, and the law, even in your own community, nobody talking about the law.
Let me tell you, Mabel, those men in primary job responsibility, they go over there. They are there mainly for the budget, who sits on committee, who benefit, how much go to their various, how they call it, their congressional district, what they will benefit. And when they are concession agreement, if they will get brown envelope or something, that's why that their primary job responsibility over there. Based on their own understanding of their roles, that's what they will achieve. In terms of the economy getting better, whether it's on taxes, whether it's about creating a friendly business environment, things that will benefit the ordinary Liberian, no, I don't see that much. That's why I asked you that question, because you cannot name me one. I was sitting here with all the research and whatsoever I can do. I can name you a couple of bills to say in the last 10 years that benefited the average market woman or the average teacher or the average nurse or doctors in Liberia. Say, oh, it was because of this act of legislation that the security sector is improving Liberia, whether it's DEA, immigration, because all lawmakers are there. Lawmakers are there to do oversight and to keep the executive in check. All the countries in the world that made great impact in a democracy, it was not only because of the president. No, that's a lie. The lawmakers, they are the one that set the agenda for the country. They are the one that make the laws. Because like I said on the show, laws are meant to guarantee success. That's why things that work, they always document it and pull it into law because they will keep using it for generation after generation. In the case of Liberia, how many of those jokers you see over there, you can ask them and say, you know what, you've been lawmaker for the past 18 years. I want you to name a couple of legislation that you think had an impact on the economy or on healthcare or on education. Just name me one. They won't be able to name you anything. Because they're not there for that reason.
When you go back to that, most of their people, most of their citizens from various districts, some of them will be talking about, you don't making no law, how many bills that you have. It's just about them, you know. So because the people who's supposed to hold the people accountable, Mark, all they are concerned about is for one of the lawmakers to pass job, maybe to put on a bill in. That's all. That's their concern. Whether that bill making sense or not, they don't care.
No, you're getting something wrong, Mabel. You're getting something wrong. Let me stop you there. The citizens themselves, they are not only looking at lawmaker putting in bill. They are not even paying attention to the bill that is being put forward. Because it's one thing when you put forward a bill, and another thing for you to understand, because before you can put forward a bill, you have to go back to your district and go and consult, right, with the people in your district. Before you can even put forward a bill, you got to go and explain to them what we got something called town hall meeting. Town hall meeting is on the weekend where a lawmaker leave Washington, he come back to his congressional district, he called for a town hall meeting, he gave an idea and hear the people response and their feedback before he can go back to go push. In the case of Liberia, these men, they argue all day. They sign it all. Look, remember, the thing that people did recently, the people put three different, I think, on the chairmanability was the one that even objected when he said, I'm reflecting from second place, he wrote that whole letter. Look, can you imagine these men then look at three different concession agreements and put it in one and put it with the national budget and pass it in one bill, in one basket? Because they didn't want to argue to talk about the merits and the demerits of those particular concession agreements. From Total Energy to Avanho Atlantic, all those concession agreement and ratification, guess what? They put it under the budget and then give it one shot. Where in the world you have seen that happen?
And before Aliu come on, Monk, and you know, you just said something, because the reason why our people sometimes they go into so many villages, so many trenches, so many maybe community to campaign for them is because of representation. And you can be representing a district, and you have zero impact. All of the legislation that you just talked about, everything that they've been doing, all of the bills that they have passed, oh yes, we passed 57 bills, and 4 coming from the executive, the other one coming from the House. At the end of the day, my brother, has zero impact. I don't know whether they are watching or they don't care, or it's just about don't care attitude, or maybe because the people themselves too, who's supposed to be maybe impacted by the bills, whether maybe they don't care too much. Because for me, this is not the first time in 20 years that people will go somewhere that where they are now, they're feeling themselves doing this. Some of them using all kinds of things to even wipe their faces and so forth. Mark, at the end of the day, these people go down there to represent their people, their district, their community, their town, their village. But by the time they enter that Capitol building, my brother, everything stopped. Everything stopped. They're down and one with any other kind of dubious act or anything that will be happening just for their own benefit. So at the end of the day, my brother, there were all of these laws that they've been passing, no impact. Even though there are some people who really there that really been standing up for good things, but at the end of the day, we get zero result.
Yeah,
but I think we even my dear brother, welcome, and maybe after that we move to the in that man coming from the ACC to the mock. Welcome, brother. Are you fine and here for him? Now we move straight on to that and maybe have our say.
Yeah, maybe good afternoon, Mom. Good afternoon to our listening audience. Yes, that issue you're talking about, me, I see. This is why I always say, those guys to that house, they are not there for the Liberian people. They went there for themselves. Because if you people went over there to serve the Liberian people, to go represent them, you went there in the interest of the citizens, those people who voted you went and put all these concession agreement in one bill and just signed everything. because you don't want to discuss it for Liberian people to know, oh yes, it is not going to make any impact on their lives. But in as much as you're getting your signature bonuses and things, that what matters most to you, that's a criminal act. But all these things are happening in this country. Like I said, we are only there to be on the record. Those people will still be re-elected 2029 with all of this corruption, all the wickedness they're doing to our people. They got their respect and violation they are carrying on in the country. You can do that. You should be able to explain to the people those concessions, the benefit, the impact it is going to make on their lives. But instead, your people, when they go over there, some of them, they will sit over there from January to December. They will never even propose one bill on that floor. They will not even do it. All they there for is what to sign and get what they're supposed to get as signature bonuses. At the end of the month, they get their salaries and things. But that's Liberia for us. If we continue voting on party line, religious line, and what have you, we get a long way to go. Thank you.
So to that quickly, but let me tell you, because I was talking about some of them, they may be re-elected. You're 100% correct. Let me tell you, these people, you know what they are into now? Vote buying. Time for elections, they will truck people. So you like it, my brother, you like you can campaign, you like you can say what you want to say, you like you can say anything against them. That's why they fought hard to get money, because they don't care about the solar light that they will put somewhere because they feel that maybe some kind of a businessman too somewhere too that can also do that. Some kind of a son somewhere too also trying his or her best. But what they will do is that, okay, how many people are in that district? Okay, the district has 45,000 maybe quote unquote inhabitants. Okay, so let's share it. Let's do this with that. Okay, so that means if I bring maybe 1,000 people from outside, that means I can be lawmaker, because lawmaker is just about simple majority. So, brother, yes, you may say what you want to say, my brother. Some of them, they will come back. Even some of them may not come back because of the same trend. Maybe somebody to grab that same idea and say, okay, myself, I will use the same idea too that they may don't want to use, and I will get things out. Maybe except where people really get tired with them and tell you that, yes, we tired with them, no matter how many million dollars he bring, we will not want, or maybe we will not want him to go back and have a represent about. That's why today our society is poor. You know, but I think you said something that really touched my heart. That's why today our society is poor and we're not going anywhere soon. All of these political stuff that more talk about the Clara Maria foundations and all of these things that they are doing up and down, it's just to confuse the people. It's just to confuse the people. So executive always in a habit of confusing the people. Then they on the other side to mulling the ground. You know, that's how the guys behave. So at the end of the day, the people will realize nothing before you come to yourself. 6 years gone already. Today is the 20th. 2 more days. President Boga will be hitting good 2 years of return. But where are we today? So the noise. The whole country right now, so the noise. Speaker noise. The other one, people in indictment, criminal court also have serious issues. They have some kids. They now tend to climb a we are. So that all the noise that will be into until the last 6 years finish. And we'll go into elections.
They go after the former first lady again.
Oh yeah, she in the news again.
Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, she in the news. And I found the way he said to Monk, they're just buying time. They left the will of the people. People are look up. I was just following not too long from the House of Senate, where I think is that Sano County Senator, one of the senators said that the volunteer workers in this country among they are even more than
the actual worker.
Okay. Can you imagine? You have people volunteering their life, help workers. That's why someone see some of our citizens insulting help workers and say, yeah, you don't even know what people do, what they're going through. You don't know. So you think that all is well. No. Some of the help workers, they're just volunteer free of charge just because they don't want to be home, sitting home and doing nothing. Yeah, man, what kind of country we
But LDA, the people who on the front line, they do have a volunteer worker. LDA.
The voluntary
Even though,
on TGA
yeah,
are more than those that are even on salary. Yes, just imagine these are people that are fighting drugs. Yes.
and one of the thing in Liberia, like it sounds funny and look funny to me is the idea that when you're a lawmaker, right, the first thing is to put your country interest first. Even though you're from the local district, you got your constituency, right? But the primary objective is to keep, like I said, oversight, keeping the executive in check, making laws. So you are pushing the national interest first. There are times
100%.
in where you will advocate for certain, yeah, we call it earmark and poke barrel spending, where you advocate for a certain project to be earmarked in your district. But you don't go there, you don't go to the legislature primarily for your district. You go there to push the country agenda first, and then later before your district, because we're talking about national interest versus local interest are two different things. So most of the time when lawmakers go to the legislature, they are not there purposely for the people from their various districts or their various constituencies. They are there for the country first and foremost. When it comes to businesses, laws, and regulations, and the constitution, it comes to investment, it comes to foreign direct investment, all these things, concessions agreement, that's your primary responsibility. But it seems like if it's not for the brown envelope, it's about getting money from a deal. It's all about how much they can get from the budget, how they can twist the president arm to get some kind of kickback. So they go and create fake companies to give themselves and award themselves contracts. They skip the competitive bidding process. That's just all they are there for. So, like I said, what is the need of trying to put pressure on yourself when the people who send you there, they themselves don't even care as to what you are doing there anyway? So it becomes it's a no.
But more to that, I think maybe then that means something is happening more. Let me just, maybe you two that you also observe what really happening. Maybe are we not giving, let me ask you this question, Monk, are we not giving the power that belongs to the people? Are we not giving the power to the people? Are we turning the power against the people? Because, Monk, what you are saying, you 100% right. Because, and what upon a time, I feel like you said that on the show that the people, they don't even respect the people that even give them the power.
Yes.
So, Monk, are these people abusing the power that was given to them by our people, or because more everything break down because our people now and then they don't want, look, if you better notice the entire country now, there's no more like hardcore politics than maybe 6 years ago, where people used to, every little thing, people would protest, people would stand up, people would be so violent. And so for me, I haven't been seeing that for a little time, and that's not a good politics, and that's not a good way to go. But more, let's move back even to the community level. Why the community not getting involved into their or maybe their position that were given to their representative?
Well, for me, that's what I say. I said the situation like, bro, you will not get resolved in the so-called democracy because the vast majority of the people in the country don't really understand the whole essence of democracy, because in their mind, democracy for them is on election day, you register, go get a ballot and cast it. That's their definition of democracy. When in fact casting the ballot is just one of many pieces in the whole democracy argument. There are a lot of things. The way how people will govern, the kind of a law that they put in place, your security sector, the way how the government operate, keeping the three separate branches of government, keeping one another in check. Okay, the thing is the reason you have a problem like bro, because the whole idea is flipped around. The people believe that they are slaves, that they are subservient to the leaders or their elected representative, when in fact it's supposed to be the other way around. The elected representative they work at the will and pleasure of the people. But in the case of Liberia, we believe that nothing works in the country, that we are beggars, that we are peasants, that we are subservient again to the people that were elected. So when those guys go to the legislature, they be like, we can just fight for what we think we can get, make ourselves rich as much as possible still, because the people that sent us yesterday, they're not even keeping track. Even when the people that are on radio make these cases, how often do you see them? Maybe one of the last time you had a Russia's anger on issue where people say, you know what, enough is enough on anything in Liberia. Let me give you a typical example, the most recent one, where we took almost an hour discussing it, where they put incident with the fragmenting of the NPA. When you are making any deal, it's also come from the executive in terms of making contact with potential investor, right? It doesn't come from lawmaker. But because our lawmakers want to steal again, guess what? They are strong arming the executive. That's a constitutional violation right there.
Oh,
So
yes.
even when the president threatened that I will veto, they said, no, we can defy you. We will go and rectify this thing and bring it back to you. When in fact, if you want to talk about put, you want to talk about investment and someone who's trying to invest in the country, whether it's in any infrastructure project, the executive should be the one making contact with those people. But in the case of Liberia, guess what? Your lawmakers now are the one that are making contact with potential investors. They are the one that kind of impose on the executive. And there's a bad precedent, like the letter that was written by the justice minister. You were like, no, there will be a precedent for the future because that is not your job. Matter of fact, even in a negotiation, you don't want to include people from the executive branch that are expert in this thing, from the maritime, from the port authority. No, you want to sit in your chamber, create and make contact with investors, and then come and impose on the executive. But how many people in Liberia will really understand exactly what's going on? That's where the problem is. They got people that know exactly what's happening, but they are in the minority.
So it's like they send most of their attention to the executive. And in fact, like I read one comment, I think when it comes to the issue of Club Maria Foundation and so forth, most of the government supporters, they were there saying all kinds of things. So he came and said, I know most of you Liberians, how you people look. You move by sentiment, you move just because of maybe your political party. So you don't even care as to what's going on, as to whether this thing that's happening, whether it's real or whether it's good or whether it's the best way to go. No, for you don't care. All you care about is because your party said this, so it should be the final. So most of our people, they pay attention to the executive, then that are the other two branches.
That's why I said we shouldn't try democracy then, because the executive role is actually defined. The executive role is limited.
But more looking at this government or the way the executive running everything, do you think if the people they really came with playing the vision, they could change our country to make it a better one? Because like the executive, anything they say, that's what happening now in the country. You see, when you come to budget, they come to build all of these things, and the executive they get full control even over the legislature right now. You see,
the reason why they have full control, but Ali, I will sorry 30 seconds. The reason why they have full control is because the legislature, they sold themselves. See now, I think for a second time, power shortage.
I wanted to ask you what happened over there. See the
for a second time.
They may be having tower in the dark.
The people said that
you people forced to have session tonight. What's so important about this session that you people want
money issue now? They've been so many deals on the table, ratifying contract, port issues, so they forcing them and they got to make sure they can do the best they can do today.
So they having session tonight in darkness.
Yeah, today is Tuesday.
Well, I thought the United Party they are screaming well by giving the country stable electricity. Then while the people in darkness, more no man. And also they get quorum. The speaker get quorum tonight.
Oh yeah, I think.
Well, you see the people in there. I think they passed. I think they passed.
They passed 37. I think they got the number to make a quorum.
They passed the quorum already, but. Well, my brother, this is saddening for our society. You see, so that's why every little loophole that been given, or maybe every little opportunity maybe that been given as a way, or maybe something other people do, they will also abuse it and make money out of the people. So, because, like, for example, if you create the little entity, that entity too, they will use it as a way of making money. Because the lawmakers, they are making money. The judiciary too, they are also making money. And these are kind of people that nobody check on them. Nobody care about them. But they still citizen. They go there, they crap. Now, if you don't have money, allegedly that if you don't have money, that means your case or whatsoever, nobody going to look at you until you have money. So more. And most of the people have been paid by government. But at the end of the day, only the executive. And all of the supporters, every one of them, they want good thing. But when it comes to doing the right thing, they have issues. The only place that they don't have issue is as long you are not part of their camp, and maybe government is dealing with you, yes, they'll be happy, they will share it, and they will like it. So Mark, it is indeed frustrating. And I know you put one on to talk about transition, but for me, I don't think we even need any branch of maybe government that they call maybe the I don't know legislative branch of government, because for me, no sense. It made no sense to me for the past almost 20 years. No here, no there. I'm telling you better.
Yeah, because the many understand that why they can work in cahoots with the executives, because in Africa we got the idea that the president is giving absolute power. That's a lie. The constitution limit the president power. The presidential power, or Article 2 powers, like the court, is limited and well defined. The only people that get wiggle room with their power are lawmakers, because they can change the law, they can make amendment to law. So when there is a problem in the first branch of government, where in their own standing rules and order contradict the constitution, they're able to make adjustment to that law to get themselves going. The executive cannot do that. In the case of Africa, we flip everything upside down. We believe the men who sort of be having limited power control the most power, and the people who sort of have the most power, they believe that they are slaves to the men that sort of have limited power. So the citizen is confused, your lawmakers are confused, the president himself is confused. So why private democracy? If you don't know your role, Aliu, if you, Mayborn, and myself are giving a horse, right, to maintain, and they say, Cyrus, you will clean the yard. Your job on this property is to make sure the grass are cut, everything is neat. They say, Mayborn, when it comes to the horse choice, the cooking, the cleaning, the washing, the bathing, are you. Aliu, you're the security guy. Aliu, if you cannot tell your function, and I don't know my function from Mayborn, tell me how can we effectively run a house?
Yes, your TUR.
Yes.
If you don't even know your own TUR.
The citizen confused, the lawmakers as well be there to be holding the line for the citizen. They themselves confused, they took the power and gave it to the executive. Now the man who is the executive that so have limited power, he's the one having absolute power, technically. And if those men that sitting in that dark in that show room, or what are they looking at, they even know what they are there for. Most of them, 90%, they just there for working a deal you can get your brown envelope, take money.
You have to make the numbers. And you're right, most of them, they're just in there just to make the numbers. After making the numbers, they go to the places that they want to go. They have other things that they want to do, and they don't.
And me, this is why I always say the way the executive get full control over the legislature and everything in the country. And I believe if they really had a vision and a plan, they could run a better government, because there is no pushback. They control everything. Yes, so they could.
And that's what happened. Let me tell you, that what happen if this government going to allow Jeff Kofa to remain speaker. Let me tell you, it's gonna make this government people gonna say, "But a team is better," because all of these things every time, let the speaker come from your side. Let them won't come from your side. Which side? As a president, what? Yeah, man, they can really get to me. One thing that the president want to do that he will not do. The president can veto. The president can declare emergency. Then you sit down, you acting like because one person speaker somewhere, so that means nothing will happen. No. But it doesn't look like that when you are speaker, that means that you will stop the president agenda from which type of agenda?
Yes. That
do you have any kind of agenda apart from making Liberia better?
That was their thought, that you can get an opposition speaker, then the president agenda, it will be carried out, because they will always step on it. And this is why you see today the government, because that brought division in the country, and today the country is heavily divided. Even in our house, last session said they happy today. Let's wait and see Thursday again what will happen. You see, the house is heavily divided. From the removal of the former speaker, the country is just like that now. So
anyone would have any
like I said, you be happy session 12 o'clock midnight.
Anyone would have even motive.
That money eating they doing now. That the $1.8 million budget they pay in, so at the end of the day, bro, you going.
Anyone would have even motive. What Mon said, all of us will have our function. And our functions is to make sure that Liberia is great. That's why you see when I see people getting each other to Donald Trump, say, you're not very well. Because Donald Trump said everything that you're doing today.
You champion.
Donald Trump gossip. Donald Trump not lie to people that, if you vote for me, I will do this, I will pin you. No. Everything that Donald Trump is doing right now, he's said it and he's doing it. Even towards EU. You see today, you see EU, they didn't say nothing, they don't even know what to do next.
Yeah, they want Greenland too.
The only campaign or promises that no President Baka fulfilled was when he said when he became president, they will take people out of job. I think that the only promise he fulfilled. But all the other one, and yes, for me, I stand to be corrected. That the only thing I saw him, he said it and he did it when he took over. Like he said, where Madam Sadia might say had 100 jobs, we are carried to 150, we will bring it back down to 100. And that's what happened. But other than that, I don't see anything that he said that he has done. I stand to be corrected.
Leadership was Monk. We are really struggling because even if he changed, I don't know, 50% from money group more, do you think a real change will come in our house?
No. That's why you see that why I keep telling people, right? I said the moment from the day I came to this country, or when I came here earlier, I just observed these people's system and say, now I understand why most countries went to military dictatorship. You might think it's a bad thing for democracy because first of all, I say, you know what? The whole idea of democracy is very complicated. You got to have system and structure in place. In the absence of a system and structure, because even the Western government, sometimes they can struggle with their own democracy. So think about Africa, where we are lacking all those institutions, where you got a bunch of irresponsible men, we call them lawmakers. If you are waiting on these guys to move Liberia forward, just look at these men. Do you think this group can move Liberia forward? Definitely common sense. Yeah. So why would you want to practice? I might as well bring one military man who, when you want build road tomorrow, he build road that will suspend the constitution. He can go to the central bank and say, you know what, all the criminals in here are going to put you in jail. That the only way something will happen in the country. And our other countries are doing, because if you are waiting for these jokers, one of the reasons you have opposition in government, the reason you want opposition is so they can push you to doing better things, right? If Fanatic cover a speaker and Rachel Kuhn becomes speaker, and you cannot tell the difference between the two, how can you tell me there is an opposition in the Liberian legislature? It make any sense?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I know an opposition here, they are there to say no. Because that's why I keep telling folks, I say when you look at the democracy here, the individual on the ballot on election day is not the one you are voting for. You are voting for the idea that is so during the election. Because these presidents, they will come and they will go. But the question is, when it comes to education or healthcare or civil liberty, are you a conservative or are you a liberal? How the people can vote there? But you think that the people voting for individual. Oh, I hate to look at it. No, we don't vote for Trump. Trump against an individual. We vote for ideas. So you look at these men on the screen.
And then in darkness, these are people that are also talking about the energy side, the NEC, the hydro. For the second time, nearly an hour now.
Look at these guys. Yeah, these guys argue more than they can even have a meaningful conversation. You think that this group you are looking at, even if you get in 100 years, they will move like forward in your summer. So you are not wasting our time in the name of democracy and going through the ballot bars and democratic governor and principle. When you get speaker and president can call meeting and take budget and tear shit from it and sign with impen, until you get country, you don't have a country. You don't.
I don't feel it for our people who have hope in most of the people, Monk, actually, because power. The people did not get current go for the second time. Let me just say, maybe some of you so you can know. Current go for the second time in a horse. And now as we speak,
see that
your children, they have their phone light on the same thing that when power go from your angel, you can be struggling how to fund it.
Someone wrote something at our business or Ruth Pema. She said, when America come from Greenland, is how I think they changed. They should add to the list to come and see that whole country. I think the only way we make progress.
But that's my prayer, and you and myself have been talking about that. Yeah. For me, that's my prayer. I want for America to come and make Liberia one of their states.
Yeah.
Liberia, because no need.
No need. And shut the whole damn thing down. Suspend the constitution and start building institutions from scratch. Maybe 10 years from now, we'll still a chance. Yeah, maybe 10 years from now, if we do that, we will stand a chance as a people. If we had done it in 2003, by the time we have been far better position.
Far better than where we are today.
More far, man. We far more. These are the keep saying more we far. But because of the greater politicians, they go out there, they make things to look like they are the one that are going to change Liberia. Today,
those bunch of irresponsible people sitting over there that's supposed to be who with a family, they sitting over there in darkness. They say they having session. Why you people discussing in the day that you couldn't discuss in the day? You see?
More the Reverend said the main speaker, when main speaker, in fact, the message will build up place, in fact, will break it down and build new one.
Who Reverend?
Yeah, Reverend, I think, yeah, good. Yeah,
okay. Oh, yeah, they probably from from Jameson number 2 in Grand Battle County, right? They went out in the hotel.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Lola, brother, I swear.
I know they call him Banks. I know his name's on that Banks.
Yes, indeed, Banks.
That's why when he came on the show, I asked him, I said, do you think as a clergyman, you can navigate between religion and politics? I saw Beggar in the hotel now with the breaker with black. I said, what? Men of God.
Men of God. I expected that man to be neutral in the whole thing. I was really somehow disappointed in him. But you know, what I listened to someone, they said that the way Liberia looking, the Liberia politics is not good for imam, it's not good for pastor. It's better to stay away because when you enter this thing, then you go off track.
You compromise. It's you making. I was asking 3 times on the show. Maybe was everybody. I said, men of God, for the nature of politics in Liberia, the way how to operate in that chamber, do you think you can serve God and be a mono highness? It's not possible. The next week, I saw him at 9 hotel in the Basi rocking a chair. I said, no, I said, men of God, men forget the whole men of God thing. That was it. Yeah.
What?
Came on the show.
Lord, I swear, man. What? Man, people. And these are people that are waiting for the future generation.
And you know the sad thing about it, Mabon, they still got some people like some older folks, they just want to see the little best of that country. Like they got people who still got hope that one day they will see a better Liberia. Even though it sounds very mean, we can say it's not possible, but they still got people that hold it on because they believe that, you know what, once we got a government, maybe one day somebody will come there to turn things around. And for them, they don't want to see the best of Liberia, but they just want to see the start of that process. That even when they go in the grid to say, yeah, at least I saw something better in my country. Even if I would not live to see the promise, then, but at least I was living when I saw the process starting. That all they are praying for, and it can't happen. They can't even see it. No chance of it happening. Same thing every day, every time, different.
You change for the 2 lawmakers, you bring in new for the 2 lawmakers. Come and see your children. I don't know what are the people, what are they going why they think.
Why the system, Liberia, we get systematic problem. So, you change the entire Senate, you change the entire House of Representatives, you bring new people. When the C system is there, that why we cooperate.
So who can make them to be corrupt? Is that the executive or what? I mean, ask you and more. Who can really make the people to be corrupt and to be bad?
No,
because sometimes some of them, most of them they can be good though. Outside they will talk all of the best of talking. Everything, by the time they get among in less than 2-3 months time, they start to down in one.
Well, they got some of them that are good, but the thing is, when you work in a body, you need consensus. That the whole idea about the first branch of government, that's why they are giving the most power. The president is an individual, the lawmaker, they are a body. That's why the framework of the law gave them all the power in the country among the 3 branches of government, right? So I won't say that the president made them corrupt. They were already corrupted before going there. The president only helped to enable them, but it's not like he went and opened study to teach them how to be corrupt. No, that's not the job of the president. Because, like I said, they are giving.
No, but sometimes when you start to give people little compensation or maybe little water or something more, these are gateway to damaging system. Because
no, but think about this. Think about this. If the lawmaker can keep the president in check, and the president cannot keep the lawmaker in check, how will you make the case that, because the president can get in brown envelope? Who's going to get that from brown envelope? Who holds the power to get brown envelope? Maybe just because the finance minister and the central bank is in the executive, it does not belong to the president.
Sure.
Okay. So when people keep making it, like I say, if you believe that how Liberia should be run, then forget about democracy, because I know when lawmakers can call for audit, that's why they got oversight. They can call for across the board audit. They can make recommendations for criminal referral. The lawmaker can call you for a hearing and conduct their own investigation and refer you directly to the Georgia Department for Prosecution. You know that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. When you saw it happening in Liberia in your lifetime, that said, let's say they say, oh, the Sekou Dukle is not making remittances to the state cover, and lawmaker call him on Capitol Hill for questioning, and they found out maybe he lied on or he committed a crime. They can refer him I even calling the president and make direct referral for prosecution to the Justice Department.
But they are afraid to mock.
Yeah.
Mock, they are afraid to because maybe that, for example, okay, if you want to push my maybe minister or maybe my director, I'm going to call it for you, Mark, because you want to be too high on my maybe my person of interest. So because of that, maybe your own businesses too that you have, I'm going to come down high on you. Is that because
wait, maybe you're confusing me. You say when lawmakers, let's say after a hearing and they make criminal referral, you mean that people will come after them? Is that what you're going to say?
It's a fear tactics. Yes, it is a fear that in most of them, sometimes we hear the thing behind the saying that, they don't want to be witch hunted. That's why you start to hear most of you talks witch hunt and so forth. Because let me tell you too. Now I'll ask you about who make these people to look bad or bad. Because all Western will shift most of the blame on them because the lack of integrity. Because they allow themselves to be used by the executive. So the point here is the executive, because quote unquote the guy when they go there, some of them they go there with the open mind that, oh yes, I will do this for my district, I will stand up for my district. So the first thing is, by the time you want to be 12, the executive now, what's going to carry, maybe they're supposed to carry some kind of more project on in your district. But because they are not noticing that you are maybe 12 talking, they say, okay, this one, no, I think one already, yes. So that whole month development. Don't get development down there.
Yeah, that why they do to Yeke right now. You see? Why you say that why they do to Yeke?
I've known our people not seeing anything from you. And you just talking, you say, don't mind mom. Why are you talking about mom? What the mom bringing? So the men are bringing something now that the men may let them replace you. So you see how the executive work here? They're always using people, some of them use 4 to 5% against you. So if you're not careful, mom, I understand my politics very well, and I know the game the guy play. Even though the only thing is that majority of them, if they stand up, they will win a battle. But you can't get 5, 7, 8% saying they want to be maybe good, they want to be independent. No, it won't work.
It can sound so funny to me, right? Because I understand in the democracy, the executive branch is the law enforcement arm of the government. The government take their marching orders from the first branch of government, the lawmakers. So if a lawmaker would tell me that they are afraid of retribution from the executive, then it still sounds funny to me. It still doesn't make sense. Because if you talk about real retribution, that's why we say the lawmakers are the one, they are a body. They are 103 in total. The president is a single man, even though he has his able-bodied lieutenant, a kitchen cabinet. But the people with the power, you think if I was a lawmaker and the lawmakers were doing the right thing in Labrador, you think if I make a criminal referral from maybe the finance minister or somebody from LPRC, you think the executive is brave enough to come after me? The executive, nobody will be running into when they come after a lawmaker. But in this case, these guys flip the switch because the president won't even drink you to think about going after a lawmaker because that's a body. It means when you trigger one, you trigger in the rest of them, right? And they can impeach the president.
They are not united.
The president can threaten lawmaker and he can make man, it's funny to me. It doesn't make any sense. Yep.
Even if the president say maybe he don't want to see you, maybe he don't want to have anything to do with you, my brother. Even if you want some kind of committee, they will take you from there. That's just the fact. That's the kind of system we run here. Now that happened. Let me tell you what happened in the CDC. That's when it happened. CDC will happen some few 12 talking lawmakers with the I think from district number 1 in Margibi, either Tupperware or Tupperware, and district number 2 here in Maserado, Colonel Jimmy Smith. I don't know them, though. I haven't interacted with any of them, but I've been admiring them of their 12 talking and their work. But guess what? Time for primary. CDC. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, because the executive or alleged that the executive were having issues, with 2 of them or with maybe with other lawmaker from district number 2. because maybe somebody from within the party, Karen News, or maybe Karen News told the executive that, oh, this person is not in your interest, they're doing this, they're doing that. But because of that, these two individuals, they were voted out wrongly. I can tell you. Wow. And today, where's data number 2? Most of them, it go back. But Jimmy Smith was doing well. I can tell you for free that Jimmy Smith, I don't know him like that, or I mean that with him, but I've been following him more. So all these things we are saying to them more, the executive will want to put you into a situation, and when you're not careful as maybe that person that go there to represent your people, you may see yourself into the situation that may not even years to come and bottom that they will not even.
Let Mr. Marlo open the line today. I just dial his number. Let him chime you a little bit. I think he wants.
Yes, no problem. Go to
Mr. Marlo, you're live. Sktv, go ahead.
Good afternoon, all you there in Liberia, and Simon, good afternoon here.
Yeah.
Listen, there are a couple of things. I will start with the port issue. One of the worst things in a democracy, Socrates says, giving ignorant people democracy to practice is like putting a ship on the rough sea and giving it to the carpenter to steer. It's going to crash. And that's what's happening to us. You got 4 ports in the country. 2 of them are totally insolvent. You got one is only solvent because of the company that is close by. And you're talking about making them independent. So how you expect the other ports to survive?
Yep.
No. The concentration is the Buchanan port because they can get money from ArcelorMittal.
Mm-hmm.
If these XP people be allowed, they will get even more money from there, and this and that. Listen, the short-sightedness of our leaders is what got us where we are. They got no long-term vision. In fact, they got no vision. So for them, it's just a grab. It's just an immediate grab that makes them happy. There is no need to make these ports independent or function independently when you can change the board of directors of the port and re-strategize the power or the financial movement of each of these ports. In fact, you can reposition each port to get a different kind of business, which will make these ports solvent.
Okay.
But you don't even have the means to decide that. And you're talking about making them independent. When you make them independent and they can't bring in no income, then what will happen? They fall apart? Is that what you see? Ivory Coast is right across the river from the port of Harper. Business is right over there. And you haven't even figured out a means to make that port active enough so that the people in Dallas and things can use that port quicker to get stuff to them. No, but you're talking about independent. Let me tell you something about this. What they're talking about reallocating institutions in the country. What they call them? What do you call this thing that they keep on talking about it slipped my mind. Let me tell you, there is a code to distribute power. The first thing you train the people.
They under CSG or CGL, the power sharing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And they said,
you mean the power sharing under CSG or CGL, something like abbreviation?
Not the power sharing. I'm talking about this whole sharing of power in the country.
Oh, okay.
What they call it, man? This disbursement of power,
decentralization. Yeah.
There is a code to do it. The first thing you train the people. When the people are trained mean you build the infrastructure. Infrastructure don't mean houses. It means light, water, telecommunication, and roads. When you get those functioning, then you decentralize. You have done none. The people are not prepared. You got no infrastructure, and you say you want decentralized. That's folly. That's the height of foolishness. So when Liberian people discussing decentralization, it sounds stupid to anybody who knows what it's supposed to be. Because we're not ready in no way. Talking about the House of Representatives, when I hear the question that Melbourne asked, it just made me smile because that's a typical Liberian mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You say, who made them corrupt? If you even knew your right as a citizen and why you even go and vote, it should even piss you off that somebody can make the legislature corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving people the first power.
Yeah, first branch.
The first power. They can call the president and say, report here.
Yeah.
Or will impeach you. And you elect people who don't even know why they go there. And you say, who made them corrupt?
Yeah.
Nobody made them corrupt. It's because we keep on electing unqualified, incompetent, insolvent people to look. I will say something here that is very controversial, and I have said it all my life. But this political power is not for poor people. You know what Belete can talk in the house there? Because whether they pay him or not, it will not change
it can't change nothing.
The money what they're giving them, the car what he's driving can pay for 5 times.
5 times, yeah. 10 times.
So you don't need it.
Yep.
And they say, when I get you car, he said to hell with you.
Yeah.
They say, when I pay you, he said to hell with you. His staff will still take pay you want to.
Mm.
Those are the kind of people you put in a place because it will make the president scared.
Yep.
That's why when you hear people say, oh, come in, well, you're supposed to go in the House. Come in, like, you're supposed to go in the Senate. To do what?
Yeah.
To do what? You can't say nothing besides to be smeared with corruption.
Mm-hmm.
You will not get anything accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we should be doing is telling the people, the idea that you want people in authority who like you. You know, that means you don't want to move forward.
You're ready to move forward.
You should be looking for the best of your citizens to put them there, not the people like you. Because you want the people like you, then you go run.
Then you go run, yep.
Then you go run. Because this idea that poor people want to take you out of poverty is the biggest fallacy in the world. There is nowhere in history
yeah.
where poor people took poor people out of poverty. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You choose bunch of hustlers, and then you expect them to leave the money what they're looking at that they never seen in their life to come down for you. Mm-hmm. You ready? Look, it's not going to happen until the Liberian people understand why they even vote. And like I said before, they put issue. If the president allowed that thing to expire without signing it so that it becomes law, or he signs it to become law, the president is a fool, he is corrupt, and the nation should stand up and make sure this government falls. Because that is detrimental to not only to the port, but to the maritime institute of our country. And that means, you know, the country survived on maritime during the war.
Oh, yes.
So you sitting down there and let the president messing with it because they will get few dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that thing will do to our economy? You see you poor now?
Mm-hmm. It will get worse.
I am telling you, Liberian people, if you never thought about your life before, you never thought about that country before, think 2 things. The people you vote for should be competent and able to deal with themselves before you put them there. The second thing, you should be able to stand up on the streets and demand what you want from the president and the House of Representatives so that they give it or they leave. You got that power. And until you recognize that you're not ready to be voting,
all right.
Then when it's time to vote, just stay home.
Thank you, Mr. Malo. I think it's
well, yeah, thank you, Mr. Malo. Even though we have the former finance minister also in the house, but again, we will still be thinking and still be asking ourselves as to maybe where we want to go to get people from. Again, Alex, your statement. Hello to this caller quickly. Good evening.
Good evening, Mo. We just go into the rest of this panel.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, this is David King, and I join you from Spend of this message. You see, more, we want the country to be stable. We want the country to have the kind of stability we enjoy since the war. But we see the United parties, they try to slip the country back to the decades. They go a local foundation. Foundation is not where people just go and take money from government. People donate to foundation to help with charity. So the 415 has said, our husband has a platform, and because of the bigness of the platform, she used that to build that place and to carry the love fortunate children over there. Children who that parents and their parents were living in my heart. All right? But for Waka to now forget about the bread and butter issue, solving the laboratory problem, going after the former president, I think he wants to slip the country into something else. Because the supporters of this president, the former president, we will not sit here and allow Mr. Waka to take the country on the wrong path. We will make sure anything against how we will not relent. We will take the necessary action that the government wants to have.
All right. Thank you. Keep your calls coming. 0770203125. That's the number for you to call this evening and have your say on the SKTV show. We have a few more minutes to go. So please, if you go straight to the line, just go straight to the issues so that people can get you clearly and fast. Hello? Yes, my brother. Good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling from Chairman from before I let my thoughts, let me inform Mr. President. Mr. President, we let you for enjoyment and pleasure in the Shufo wing and let us so that you and your guys are both keeping the table. 2 nights going now in the medicine, now we are all medicine, now we are going medicine. So please be notified. Or what I have to do with the house of legislature. You know, the thing is where labor are going. Let me, agree with me partially. Our presidency is an imperial presidency. If you and myself can retrospect, when it has to do with the crisis, the imbalance in the house, do you know that there are some lawmakers that they are benefit and other things were seized by this executive president?
Yes, for almost 7 months.
They still owing the people, the people crying. I can remember you get over and found those lawmakers that are benefit were seized because they didn't agree to protocol and submit to the way of regime speaker. Since they say, well, regime speaker is not a legitimate speaker, your speakership will not honor your speakership. They see why I had to do with them. They beat them on camera. And you know, look up calling of W. He was beating some here and he was vocal. And we sat and saw it because.
And you been quiet, sir. I don't know.
Yeah, so we the public things to have ourselves to be blamed while those lawmakers are not working. Because you will not look at people where it is a law, there's a law that you cannot enter the house that the people are in that parliament. You can't enter in a 3-month term. We saw in the government, Joseph Bola set a record. You were the first person to enter the people armed in our place, the bad lawmakers dragging us and beat them. So for them, you know, we can blame more people, we can ask for too much for them. We're not even willing to stay with them.
All right. Thank you. Oh, sorry, though. Charles Cooper, Charlie, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, member. And good evening to the rest of the panelists.
Yes, go ahead, brother.
You know, member, I've always said that a country is a complete replica of its leaders. That's why I normally say, so the country, so the leader. And member, what sometimes can baffle me, if you get in public transportation rate issue about Liberia, almost all of the citizens of the country are given up on the country. People will tell you that Liberia will never change. It's just like the citizens of this country are just tired with the country now.
And they know the problem, though.
Yeah, they are not good. I was in a public transportation. We were trying to talk about the creation of 14 district. You know, on a people and Sunday at the capital building. And people tell me, you're just trying to broken change. So we now find okay, what 250,000. They think can change. They see thing abroad war and I get plenty in the country corruption. So you think like bro, ever since somebody else said, just pray for God to bless you. Like bro, get change. And then my boy telling me the council, I said, wow, a nation that is citizens are giving up on certain nation, they even know. Maybe this country, I don't know, maybe that.
All right, thank you. You don't know, but maybe one of these days thing will change. Hello to this caller, good evening. We okay, thank God for life. Go ahead, my brother.
How are you? And I leave my brother, how are you guys doing? Okay. Therefore, let me tell you something about our Lord, because these guys are very, very serious to you, therefore.
But you always voting for them though.
These guys are very, very serious. Those gentlemen who left their women and children food, they go camp in where they voted me for how many months? They were proud of it. Anything will come, anything will come, you know, that's all. We're just asking for us. Let God have mercy for us, my brother. We're not asking God to put the country in the hands of God.
Well,
that's exactly what that woman said from behind you there. That is, you can't give hungry men power. If you give hungry men power, it's your own problem. Somebody will keep them that idea. The first thing goes to that. Then you get it, man, fast that. You know what it means for you. You put a very problem.
all right. Thank you. Because of poor people, that's why we are struggling. And I don't know what some of these people do. Some of them they get money, but when they go there again, they want more money. That's the whole thing. People just been greedy. For me, and I see most of these people. Yeah, someone just like, for example, the former prime minister. What kind of money again out of me? Hey. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, neighbor. How are you today?
Yeah, my brother. Okay, thank God for that. Go ahead.
My name is Mahmoud Sefu. I'm calling you from Providence. Change itself is just, for me, I see it as being a little bit relative because, and I just want to give you two things and then I can just, one is, if you ever see during those days, whether you have, when you go buy something with 1 cent, whether you can get change. And I don't think you are living in a community where people use, or sorry for the expression that I'm using, but water something in the plastic bag where in some community they call it.
That just go to the issue, my man. They play
I'm not trying to say where Liberia has reached, it's just that we are rich. Liberia problem is almost unsolvable. It's like when you hold it this side, it comes this side. Okay. So one of the key things that need to be done onto it is that if as a leader, when you can look at the multiple problems, just tackle one and solve it, and then you leave the other one. Another president can't even take it. If you say you want to test everything, I can tell you swim in the water until you achieve
zero. Yes, I agree with you. All right.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. And that's the kind of society and country that we live in today. Yes, indeed. That all the president, when they come, they want to do everything. Which one of them will come one day and say, okay, from now on, for me, I'm targeting the workforce. I want to see that before I leave from power, let me make sure that all of the workforce.
You want to tell me? I can put you on. Maybe I got AB. Let AB take it from here, then so the next caller can take over.
Yes, go ahead, my brother.
AB live.
Okay, man. Thank you, man. Let me say good afternoon to you and good afternoon to Bishop and being the moon. I mean, Labour in Liberia. Fascinating topic, man. I've been following you guys, and I really want to get on set. But anyway, you know, there are two things I really wanted to talk about. You guys have stated here. The issue about this legislative branch of government. Look, guys, what are you going to get from recklessness? Recklessness begat recklessness. You have a speaker that told you, the Republic of Liberia, that the regime is supposed to get their own speaker. Whether they have the elected members in the House of Representatives, they don't care. What they was after was to have a speaker, and they went hell bent and literally destroy the democratic tenor of that country to have a man today that is completely riddled issues at this point in time, but they don't care. And you know, my disappointment here, Chairman Bennett stated something. I'm totally against that, and I'm not in support of it. To talk about he's not interested in the removal of the speaker. But what have Chairman Bennett and his party done in condemnation with the allegations leveled against the speaker? His capacity as the prominent opposition party. He's not the only one. As we speak right now, that issue is literally dissipating right now because the people that are supposed to pick it up and run with it, they're not doing it. And you have this thing is hanging over the Republic of Liberia. CFC have not issued any statement with regards to what is happening to the speaker. They have not stated anything. But yesterday he's sitting there. Even the CDC or even opposition party, what is their position with such a discredit the speaker at this point in time? Nothing. It's mind-boggling. So to continue to sit there and talk about the legislative branch, that branch, they have in their will. They're telling you they are law unto themselves. Here are a group of people that determine their own salary, that determine their benefits. Yeah. And nothing has been done about it, no? They
got retirement here when they leave office. They still get residual coming in.
They leave office and they get endless immunity yesterday after they leave office. They kind of grew up these people are not civil servants. But they entitle themselves, even the minister for 6 years, the next year is going to be benefiting for the rest of his life and so on and so forth. So it's a troubling thing. And and lastly, the issue about this Cloud Weir situation. Mom, you had a first lady of the Republic. The prudent thing to do first and foremost is to audit a budget that she operated for 6 years as first lady. Mm-hmm. But you cannot hold a defendant and you say they can exonerate themselves with their own evidence. And then you're testifying against yourself. Yeah. The question there, this person was first lady. Did you give them money and they squander it? Or where did they steal money from that you know of? Mm-hmm. Because then they say, give me all your documents, how you manage to buy this car, for them to testify against themselves. Yeah. It's troubling. That's what Musa Benedict stated. All of these people, if you see that the person was budgetary allocations were made to them and they squander it and they use it for a particular purpose, audit them. But this is troubling, guys. I know time is fast. Thank you guys.
Yeah, but Abi, you're really making a salient point. Yes, indeed. What? Yeah, Mom?
Yeah, that's what he said. If you are calling someone for them to bring receipt to exonerate themselves, then technically you are investigating yourself because you brought the investigation against her. For me, from day one, I told them, I said, I don't know about any president in national budget anywhere in the world. So I knew that was an illegal act right there. But then, if the president is in the budget and lawmaker because the budget is legal, it means everything within the budget is legal. Because I don't know any country in the world that allocated budget for the president. The president is not working with the government. That's a ceremonial post. Matter of fact, that's a personal thing. I know president they into children program. They go read books to children. They have nothing to do with government. I don't know why you're allocating budget for her. But if she's going to be in the budget, then it means her budget is legal because you pass the budget is a law.
And you pass it. Thank you.
You pass it.
This current first lady has been also getting information. Mm-hmm. The same thing still continue. So I don't know. And Brother Ibi just knew everything. I think investigate because if you make things to look like this, then it's like you are doing political witch hunt. They are where now people have issues because they're not going to system that you want to build. That you don't want to be embarrassing other people, disgracing people, making noise, or maybe buying time or no. So okay,
and that's why I don't blame the people who say that they are investigations of political witch hunt because you're making it into a witch hunt. You're making it so obvious.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All that hard.
Aliu, anything quickly? We gotta go. No time.
Yeah, we got less than 2 minutes.
Aliu.
Yes, Babon. Yes, it was a great show, and we hope to see tomorrow again. Thanks to the callers for always coming to participate on the show, at least. So till we can see you again tomorrow. God bless America. God bless Liberia.
Thank you. More quickly. Anything in passing before going home?
I think Charles Cooper today was the one that ended the show when he said in the public transport, you got people saying that they have given up on the country. For me, I have that sense. I subscribed to that theory a long time ago that the reason our people, they are not interested in this national debate because they have given up. Some people say we're waiting for God. Maybe but one day God don't change your country. People change country. I cannot name one country on the planet that God changed. I don't know about that. Maybe someone knows about it. They can tell me which country God was able to change. I know people who wanted the best for their country. They made decision or they took decision that changed the future of their country. So if we are all waiting for God, then why not shut the whole government down? Everybody can go and wait for God instead of come and turn the country around, if that's the case. Because I just don't get the logic that if you are giving up on the country, then God will come. No, it will keep. That's why the lawmakers and the politicians, the public officials, they keep operating the way how they are operating, because you have already given up. And when you are giving up, then it means you cannot expect better. You cannot say we all done, we all fail, but then you say you're hoping. No, it cannot be your hope. You have already given up. So just kiss the country goodbye, according to what how they call it, brother said, Charles Cooper said. They have given up. And that's why I sense a long time ago. That's why they're not interested in this debate. Things that you talk about the country and the future of the country, the youth development, the job, infrastructure. No, they are not interested, because in their mind, mentally, they have checked out already. The voters have checked out. They believe nothing good can come out of Liberia. And if that is the mindset, then more than likely, nothing good can come out. Mais bon, thanks for the day, man. See you, bro. Thanks for the listeners.
All right, my dear brother. Thank you so much. And good night. See all of you. Brother AB, thank you so much for that brilliant point. You know, that's why people keep complaining about witch hunt and so forth, back to back. And these are things, if you want a better system, better the system the right way, and that are the best way. But anyway, brother Alfred Lady, thank you so much. And King Alfred Wright, thank you so much. Riches Tower also, thank you so much for joining us. And all of you, man, thank you so much for joining us. We see you on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. Good night from our end here in Liberia. We love you, and but God love you the best. Think Liberia, build Liberia, and love Liberia.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. Blessing that time and that effort are rest. The brother is giving us here and the parents from there. So welcome my life with Africa.
I lyrical
Master.
Play body so make you I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And you no money, the more I get you. And you love the more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold rather lofa and grandmother.
And I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget na ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't forget na. Toss you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold rather lofa and grandmother.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to sell. The flesh, that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise from best. To work with my life with us, yeah. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, Sando to Backbaloo, from Maryland, Bonk to Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.